Well, hey, everybody. Good morning. Hi, it's Becky from Power Tools with Thread. You are in our Stitchuation room. Today's a big day for us. And this is a virtual stitching retreat where you hang out with me in here, follow me on my sewing journey. And I hope I can inspire you to put something under the needle or get into your room and just do 20 minutes of something. That's all you need to do, whether it's tidy or organize or kind of go through your stash and refamiliarize yourself with what you've got in there. Maybe come across a UFO that inspired you a while ago. That's a good challenge, right? Go in there and look for a UFO, unfinished object for you noobs, and find something that inspired you a while ago that kind of got put to the side because life gets in the way. Totally get that. See if we can't get 20 minutes worth of work done on that. And that 20 minutes might be just refamiliarizing yourself with the pattern and not having your dog bump your camera. Well, hello, Missy. Yes, we're ready to do some doggy time. Okay, we're standing up today because we're going to be cutting. So let's turn the camera and see how my sewing room has turned into a baby puppy playpen room. You guys are too close to the camera to be seen. Let me move out of the way. Good morning, everybody in the chat. Awesome. You're able to join on your phone and see on the television. Fantastic. I've got no room here because I've got to get everybody seen. Hello, there you go, sweet babies. Okay, you guys ready for your treats? Yes, you ready for your treats? There you go, Frito. Yes, Miss Dottie. Dottie is a 12 weeks. She'll be 12 weeks on Monday, I think. Maybe she's 12. No, I can't remember. So the 23rd, she will be 3 months old. She is a cowboy corgi. It's a new kind of boutique brand. I got yours too. Come here. We have to show everybody your adorable face. Adorable face. Her sire is a purebred blue heeler. Whoop. And her mom's a corgi, purebred corgi. And look at that face. Look at that face. Oh my gosh. You ready for your stick? There you go. Off you go. Okay, be a good girl. Come on, out here. Come on. Out here. Out you go. Go find Sissy. There we go. All righty. The breed is so new that the vet said that they don't even have them in their computer yet to say what kind of breed she is. But she said we didn't have Doodles back in the day either. So now Doodle is there as a recognized breed in veterinarian stuff. But yeah, so very, very fun dog, very smart, smarter than me, and definitely easy to train. I just love working dogs. They are our favorite kind of dogs. Okay, I need to get this back where it goes because I wedged myself in here. All right. How are you guys doing? Good to see everybody. It is so neat. So big day for us anyway. Today, we are taking the motorhome and heading down to El Campo, Texas, which is like, it's almost, it's like an hour or so, a little bit more than an hour west of Houston on Highway 59. And so between Houston and Victoria, Texas. And there's a huge RV park down there called, what is that thing called? I can't remember. Anyway, it'll come to me. You can just Google. I just call it El Campo. That's why I can't remember it. Plus it's early and I wasn't planning to talk about that. So we have 23 stitchers. We had 24, but one canceled. So we have 23 stitchers that are on their way from all over the country, you guys, in RVs or flying in. And we're going to spend the week doing open sews. It's a retreat and it's a beautiful RV resort. And we're going to have a snapplique class on Thursday. That'll be fun. But the arrival day for everybody is tomorrow, Wednesday. And Lost Lagoon, thank you. And that's the name of the park, Lost Lagoon. Fabulous. Margaritaville wanted to buy it out. They wanted to buy it. And the owner said, no, thank you. Appreciate you. No. Anyway, So we're getting, Keith and I and Bonnie and her husband Ron are getting there today. And Sandy might be coming to today. I'm not sure, but we're going to get set up and everything and get the cords laid out for the tables so people can sew on the tables in the rally room. And your puppy likes my puppies. Good, good. Awesome. So anyway, yeah, we're going to be doing that. And I will be doing the Stitchuation Room live from the rally room at Los Lagoon in El Campo, Texas. And this is our second annual. So very, very cool. A lot of fun. Vicki says, wonderful place. She was there last year. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So yesterday, Vicki, speaking of which, Vicki sent me, so okay, so Vicki sent me the links or sent me the info on the pattern holder that she gave me. She made it from, here it is right here. I'm taking it with me. This is a pattern that is free. It's on YouTube, and it's a 3-part series from Jean Truelove for True Love Quilts for You. Jean's a phenomenal quilter. If you are unfamiliar with her, she's a fun watch as well. Bless her heart, she's been to hell and back since COVID, you guys. Had their house float away or flooded. It was terrible. Anyway, crazy stuff. But Jean, she has a 3-part series on making this. And then this is a design, the blue bonnets that are available on Etsy. So thank you for sharing that with me so I could put it out there for everybody to see. So this is going with me. All right, virtual breakfast in the kitchen. Thank you, Scotty Dog. Scotty Dog runs our kitchen. She's a sweetheart from Long Island. And wander in there and hit the thumbs up button while you are at it. That helps the algorithm so much. I appreciate it. If it's anybody's birthday, let me know and in the chat. And we usually have birthday cake in the kitchen because it's always somebody's birthday with this many viewers. So yeah, it's great. Okay, so I want to talk to you a little bit about the Joy pillow. So I had mentioned this a while ago. You brought cake. Thank you, Margie. I appreciate that. And Barbara is usually on coffee, making sure that is good to go. It's just for fun, y'all. You're in the right place. We always have kitchens when we have retreats, right? Okay, so this pillow right here, I have a link to it below. And when I first came out with this, the reason I'm bringing it up is because we're going to start doing this in October. Now, this is from my girlfriend's quilt shop. And if you would use my link, I'd appreciate it very much. But let me explain. We got some confusion going in the Facebook group, so I want to get it all straightened out, okay? When this was released, initially, it was released as a fabric kit, okay? And this fabric kit sold out right away. And I had said at the time, this would be a great little snapplique lesson to do, a little project for us, because it's 3 simple shapes. We have an inside outside on the O for recognition on the scan and cut, and very simple to do. And we would do it in the Stitchuation room. Okay. This is not a class. There's nowhere to go to sign up for a class. None of that. I'm going to do it in the Stitchuation room in early October. Okay. Well, I say early October. You know what? Maybe around the 1st or we're leaving the 3rd for Houston for market. So 1st or 2nd, we'll do this. Okay. Now there are no more fabric kits available. And so what happened was they went ahead and created an embroidery design for this. So it's an embroidery and sewing design that you can get. So let me show you where it is. I have a link to it. Let me share this. So we've got new folks that made the live. I am so glad. Hi, Mary. Thank you for making it. That's fabulous. Let me share my screen. Okay. So here it is here. It is an embroidery design. So if you want to get this and do it along with us, that'll be great. Okay. This is just the embroidery design, there are no more fabric kits. However, I also have a link below to the fabric for this that you can get at the Fat Quarter Shop. Okay. So the Fat Quarter Shop has more fabric. I've got a link to that. What you can do is you can purchase the embroidery design. Okay. And then check the fabric requirements. As a matter of fact, it tells you on the back. All right. And they might have it. Yeah, right here. So you can get that. You can check the fabric requirements and then order the fabric so that yours looks just like ours. It's going to look just like the one. You'll have a little extra fabric, and that's okay. Because I think the least you can order is like a 1/4 yard, which is fine, or half yard. I'm not sure. I don't think you need a half yard. But anyway, so the whole point. Now, if you want to do yours the old-fashioned way, and you have the kit and see, this is a paper pattern, y'all. Okay, paper pattern. If you have this and you want to do it the old-fashioned way, you can do that. That's fine. That means, we'll create the SVGs using the scan and cut and embrilliance, and then you can cut out your fabric on your scan and cut. And then you can sew this down the old-fashioned way. You can just iron them on and stitch around them with a blanket stitch. It'll be fine. Easy peasy, right? So what size is the pillow? Sandra, it's called a lumbar pillow. It says it's 12 by 18. 12 by 18 pillow, okay? You don't have to turn it into a pillow. You can make it into a nice little wall hanging if you wanted. You could do that. That's cool. Okay. You cannot find the Jean True Love pattern. Well, just settle down there, Patches. All right, settle down. I'll link to it below the video. But just go on to YouTube. I'll put it below the video. Or Vicky, if you want, pop in the, I think you can make a comment. I'm not sure. I'll do it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, the old-fashioned way is fine. I like snap-applique, where I'm going to convert this paper pattern that is not the embroidery design. I'm going to convert the paper pattern into an embroidery design using my scan and cut and Embrilliance embroidery software. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay. Very easy. Now, we'll just go through the steps and get it done. Boom. Right. So the pattern is downloaded. How will that work without the paper pattern? You'll just embroider it, Brenda. If it already has an embroidery design, it's not snap-applique. If you have a paper pattern, it's snap-applique. Okay? So it's completely up to you what you want to do. You can't find it either. I will take care of that, Betsy. Good night. All right. I will take care of that. Every time Becky says lemon, easy peasy, I say lemon squeeze. I can't help it. Lemon squeezy. Right. Funny. Yeah. So the thing, what happens when a rumor starts? In the Facebook group, it started, she's going to have a class. And that started, where do I sign up for the class? I can't find the link for the class. What's going on with the class? Blah, blah, blah. No class. No class. No sign up. Hang with me, Stitchuation Room, 1st and 2nd of October, and we'll get it done, okay? It'll be easy. No problem. All right. I don't want you guys feel like, I know, it is the telephone game. It drives me crazy. And I started to respond to the post. It's not a class. Stop asking. But then I thought, let me just put a post on there and remind everybody what this is about. Either way, you can snap-applique it. You can do it the old-fashioned way if you have the paper pattern, or you can just embroider it with the embroidery design. Okay. So Diane, I note, I get told this a lot. Thank you. She says I have the patience of Job. I know. I get that a lot. It's so funny. I have people come up to me and go, I do not know how you deal with the same question 48 million times. It's okay. How do you get into the members group? Well, Sherry, that's a good one. On the subscribe button, there is a join right next to it. And it is easiest, if you have an Apple device, it is easiest to do it on a laptop. Okay. You have to go through the browser. You cannot use the app. If you're on an Android, no problem. Join lickety split. Okay, you purchased the embroidery file. Thank you, Sandra. That's a cute little thing, right? And it's super quick. Also, this fabric, I linked to this fabric at the Fat Quarter Shop. So you can, it's right below the video in the description box. Click on that, jump over there, see if you can get a 1/4 yard. They might cut that a 1/4 yard. And then you can just look at the picture because it gives you the fabric requirements. So like it says a fat quarter of the background, but you can look at the picture and see like the Y is in that Christmas plaid. Just get a 1/4 yard of that Christmas plaid. Or, you know, because you're going to need more than like, that's 18 inches right there. Okay. So for those two fabrics, you're going to need more than like a pre-cut. Yeah. So this is bigger than a charm pack. So it's up to you. Anyway, okay. I just want to let you guys know that for those of you who did not get in on the fabric kit, that causes problems. That causes problems. Now, the Joy pillow will not be for members only. Okay. The members only videos, you get one a month for 99 cents. And the members, this is new, so that's why I'm repeating myself. Okay. The members only will get one video a month, and it will be pre-recorded without the distraction of the chat. And oh, absolutely. Your fabric stash can do all the work stitching. Absolutely. Yeah. You got fabric stash, knock yourself out. Sure. You know, these are fun. Let me go back to that. I want to show you. So I have a beautiful fabric bundle over there that has like 12 fat quarters. It's perfect. That all go together, be beautiful. So anyway, you can, on the members are going to get members only video that are slow. A lot of people follow the way I teach, and I've got a little highlight on my cursor so you can see where I'm going on the computer. And it is all about doing things in Embrilliance and doing snapplique. So for 99 cents a month, that is a cheap class, right? But it's one video a month. And right now I'm going to commit that it will come out the first week of every month. Okay. So you loved the first video. It was wonderful. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate that. So yesterday, finished this. How about that? Got that done? This is the second. This is the second week for Up on the Rooftop. There we go. Thank you, Quilting with Harriet. Highly recommends the member videos. Now I had a little bit of a boo-boo in here. I got a tuck. I don't know if you can see it right there. There's that tuck. I got to go back and fix that. So what I experienced with this particular pattern is because the entire center of it is on the bias with all these geese. Yeah. Don't we just love bias? So these edges are 40 and a half, and my geese ended up like 41 and a half. So the first one, I was able to get it pretty good without any tucks. I put the geese on the bottom, let the feed dogs do the work, and pulled it in, and it worked just fine. And I did the same pretty well on this one till I got right down to the end, and I had a tuck. So easy fix, but that's just a little bit extra that I need to do. Okay. Thank you, Betsy. She said the first video was terrific. The first video I'm going in, it's on Embrilliance, and I'm showing you how to merge a couple of designs, customize them, pre-existing, and then how to edit them with Enthusiast module of Embrilliance, and then how to create your own wall hanging using Stitch Artist 1 in Embrilliance. So thank you, Nancy. So about that, I had a lady email me. It was hanging on the wall. What'd I do with it? think it's over by my desk somewhere. Oh, here it is right here. So I had a lady email me. Let me talk about this video a little bit more. This is the members only video I'm talking about. So I had a lady email me and she said, so if you buy the Wonky Houses CD or the download pattern, whatever, okay, this is a block and this is a block, and I merged them together to customize it and make it my own. She emailed me and she said, are you going to do other videos on the other blocks? Because it's a $30 pattern and I want to be able to justify the expense if there's going to be more videos on that. So the video for the members, and I want to be real clear about this. This video that I made for this wall hanging is not about the Wonky Houses at all. It's not. It's about you being able to take your designs, whatever designs it is, from same designer, different designer, whatever, and put them together to make it yours. What I'm showing and trying to communicate, maybe I didn't do that good of a job. I will try harder next time. What I'm trying to communicate, Dee Dee, somebody else had that server problem and she just kept trying and she was able to get it. Yeah, Anne wrote me about that as well. She says, I keep getting a server problem when I try to watch the video for the members only. I don't know. That's a YouTube thing, but Anne kept doing it and she emailed me and said, I got it and I was able to watch it. So just keep trying. I'm sorry. Okay. So this video that I made for members only is about theory and concept for you to be able to go, you know what? Now that I have created, Star Raymond talked about this, and I replied to her in the Facebook group. Now that I have created this wall hanging piece, let me use the old noggin, okay? Why don't I save the wall hanging as it's the frame of the wall hanging as its own design? And then when I see a design that I really like that is not a wall hanging, I can pop it in here and make it a wall hanging. How about that? So it's about concept and theory to help embroiderers think out of the box and be able to just expand endless possibilities with our embroidery. So isn't that smart? Yeah. You're going to become a computer geek? Dee said, that's what I do too. Yay. All right, you guys. So that's the members only video. And so I bring that up because I have ladies say, well, I can't find the Bunny Hill kit anymore. I can't find Prairie Days. It's not out there. I did put a link below in the description box of this video to the paper pattern. You can order it. Okay. I don't think it's a download because it's $41 for the pattern. So I think you get something in the mail. Okay. And you can use your own stash. You might be able to source fabrics wherever. I did put a link to that as well. But it's not about making Prairie Days. It's about taking applique paper patterns and giving you practice each month to build up those skills to say, oh, I can do this with any paper pattern, not just applique. I could do it. I mean, it is with applique, but I can do this with any of my paper patterns and build up your snapplique muscles, right? So, and it is hard because I know some people are like, I have to watch your step and I have to stop the video and do it. Watch, stop, do. I get that. But you can do that with your own applique patterns. You can follow the same steps. It's just going to be a different design. Same thing. Okay. So Debbie, that's hilarious. My mom would say, use your head for something besides an ornament. Not just a pretty face, y'all. Right? You can download it, but you wouldn't recommend unless you own a printing store. Yeah. Okay, Sandy. Yeah. So that pattern's pretty big. All right. So speaking of Bunny Hill Designs and Prairie Days, I've got 4 more blocks to do, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And on this pattern, stitching, it'll work. Stitching, she says she has a Vernia. Yeah, it'll work with any home embroidery machine. So these are the blocks that make up the backgrounds for each of the blocks. These are the cuts and shapes. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. I have been doing this for free. For years, I've been doing it for free. I have a whole playlist of Snapplique that you can look at. Okay. The things you're going to get in the members only videos, a little bit more challenging patterns, things that are a little bit harder. It's also, when I've been doing them, for the most part, they've been in the, on a morning show with chat, and that's distracting to people because I look at the chat and answer. Crafting says, I want to make everything Becky makes. That's all right, my friend. Yep. For instance, but I have some that are pre-recorded, okay, that are Snapplique. For instance, the Happy Halloween video series, that first one for the ghost is going to be left on regular YouTube. I'm about to take all of the other videos for that and make it members only. So if you want to watch the rest of them, which most of you have already seen, okay, but you'd have to do, is the members only for more advanced, not beginner embroidery quilting? Chris, no, not at all. You're going to get very detailed instruction without the distraction of chat. All right. Yep. You're going to get detailed instruction without the distraction of chat. Thank you for joining, Crystal. I appreciate that. All righty, y'all. And it's 99 cents. We don't even have a $1.25 store a month. And Google takes 30 cents because they take 30% of the membership. And then I pay self-employment taxes, and that's 30%. So I'm making 30 cents for each member. Nickels and dimes. All right. So let's get to cutting some fabric. And I'm just going to go over my basic cutting skills again that I do. 99 cents with tax, so it is $1.25. Okay. All right. So when I first started doing this, I had the grand idea, because I have 6 blocks, and the instructions tell you to go through and cut the backgrounds for each block first, before you get into doing the applique. Okay, that's to make sure you have enough background fabric. So I had the bright idea of taking a piece of fabric, and I started with the red stripe, and I said, okay, let me look for each one of these blocks that has red stripe, and I will just cut those red stripe blocks first, so I only have to touch the fabric one time. Well, I thought already have the red striped fabric in them, because my thought was I'll just cut that first, but that didn't work out. So here are 1 through 5 with all of their fabrics already cut. And then I just have to put them together. And I will be doing snap-applique 1 block a month on YouTube in my members video. So let me set this over here. I have this nice thick mat I can stand on, which I love. And I am ready to go. I've got a stripology ruler out here. I really don't need that for this. I used that yesterday when I was cutting up on the rooftop. I was surprised, y'all. I was able to get that whole strip set done in about an hour and a half. It was awesome. Right after I got off the video with y'all. Okay, so let's get, I'm going in order. Let's get block 6. Okay. So you also get, let's see, this is, you get, these are like cardboard almost, and you get, this is block 6 right here, full color. So this one, you got to pay attention. The door, let me get that right there. The red stripe is horizontal in that one and vertical down what the building is sitting on. So I was very careful. Is this, where's 6? It looks like I only cut 1 piece of it. So I only cut the bottom part. I need to cut, I didn't even cut that piece. So, oh, that's applique. That's not the background. Okay, so just the background, because I'm looking at it and it says country stripe, milk white red, and it gives that amount. So that's there. So, but you have to pay attention on these striped fabrics for sure, because these stripes are horizontal in the door and these are vertical. Okay, so I just keep the picture handy. You got a picture for every block. And I'm going to get to cutting again for these. And you also get a nice big printed sheet with all of the fabrics telling you what their names are, so you know exactly which one to cut. This is the kit from Moda. These are no longer available unless you can find one hiding somewhere in a quilt store, because this pattern came out in 2021. All right, so let's get started on this. Seedlings, milk white blue. Yeah. And that's this fabric right here. And this is the first time I've ever had a pattern tell me not to, because normally if it's a 4.5, I would just cut a 4.5 all the way up and then subcut from that. They said don't do that to make sure that you have plenty of fabric. So I'm going to cut a 1/4 inch larger than it requires, just to make sure on both ends, just to make sure I have plenty, and then I will straighten it out. And I need my rotary cutter. There it is. Yep. On the membership, do you go and pay each month, or does it automatically come out? It automatically comes out. It's a 99-cent recurring, or $1.25 recurring charge. Okay. I cut this one a little bit bigger. It has a pretty good fold in it right there. So I'm going to press this out. Yeah, I'm back on. I'm going to press this out. When the ones that have folds in them, I go ahead and press them out. And I was using a little bit of the Faultless spray yesterday. Not a fan. Not a fan. It kind of warped it. Okay, I need to put this way to get this cut and make sure it's going to be perfect right here. So that's what I do. I oversize the cut by a 1/4 inch or so on the 2 sides, or 4, you know, and then that way I can make sure that I have good clean edges on all sides. So this can go on the bag, ready to go. Okay. No, the design. Okay, so is the name of it Bunny Hill? No. Bunny Hill Designs is a company. This is their logo right here, the little adorable rabbit in the pink. Bunny Hill Designs is the name of the company. Okay, Prairie Days is the name of the kit and the fabric line, which is made by Moda. Okay, made by Moda. So Prairie Days, this fabric is still available out on the internet. You can find it. I'll have a link to it below. Okay, but the name of the company that designed it is Bunny Hill Designs. But these kits are out of print, no longer around. Let's see here. I don't need that. Here's where we are. It's hard to keep straight, y'all. Hard to keep straight. That's my scraps over there. All right. And I've been using a pencil to mark and make sure that I got every one of these. All right. Milk White Multi. That's this one with these little stars. I just need to get this done. And I thought, y'all, I'm just going to cut with you guys and just kind of go through the process. This is how we do it. All right. One of our campers is on the road and just made it to Alabama. Fantastic. Love that. All right. I need one. Let's see. This big. I'm just going to cut this because it'll be a weird size if I'll have that little weird end hanging out. Okay. And then now down to this. Perfect. I'm looking forward to this again this year. This is going to be so much fun. I can't wait. That looks good. There's that one. So this is just, you know, this is how the sausage is made, you guys. And okay, 10.5 by 2.5. Let's see. I got my 1.5 on the edge here. There we go. I don't have another end that would work on better. No, maybe the shorter end. Instead of the long side, I'll cut it from the short side here. Oh my goodness. So yeah, we're going to have pork butt sliders on Friday night. Now they're saying 40% chance of rain on Saturday and Friday and Saturday. So hopefully it holds off. But you know, that's the Gulf Coast in Texas. Flatter works. It's a spray that turns your fabric into, that was a question. What is flatter? It's a spray that makes your fabric really stiff. And it works well. That's really handy for doing applique and pre-cutting your shapes on your scan and cut. The closer you can get your fabric to feel like paper, the better. You won't have that blade dragging the fabric. Farmhouse Check Sky Blue. Is that this one? Yes. Okay. Yeah, flatter works really well. What have I cut? Got a nice long piece here. Goodness. I'll cut on this one. Oh, that's a selvage. I've already cut this selvage. All right. Look at what the heck happened there? No idea. So I'm going to cut it a little bit bigger. Straighten that out. Goodness sakes. And see, I'm not going all the way up. It tells you cut exactly. Don't cut the whole strip. That's all right. I'm game. It's got a big fold in it. I'm going to press it before I finish that final cut. Once you've got stuff cut, it is so easy to just get back and finish up the design. You know, you can just sit there and sew for a couple of minutes. I think I'm going to do like this, right? Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Cutting takes a long time. All righty. So for those of you that have been on the Sew and Sail cruise with me and you're coming to El Campo, the class you're going to get in El Campo on Thursday, Snapplique, is way different than what we have done on Sew and Sail cruises. So we're going to have a lot of lecture and talking about stuff and understanding why it works and how it works. And that's really important so that when something comes up weird, you can go, oh, I know how to fix that. That's really important. That's the biggest thing. So you're going to go Sew and Sail 19. That's great. I think Juju's doing that one, isn't she? I'm not. Yeah, I told Jamie, I said, I'm about cruised out. Okay. Country Milk Stripe White Red. I've already done that one. Prairie Stars Milk White Tonal. That's, where is it? This one. And, okay. We'll do here. I want to use up this little piece, so I might cut into the side of that. I don't know, instead of the long edge. Will it work? Is it long enough? It is. But then I end up cutting, I don't know. We'll see. I'll have a scrap. There. Got that weird L shape. I hate those. I don't even know what to do with those except cut them off and make them a scrap. You're doing Sew and Sail 20? No, I can't, Betsy. I cannot. I am sew and sailed out, y'all. Last time we went for 2 weeks back to back. And Keith and I were just give out. Plus we have that new puppy. No way. Matter of fact, Keith, I had to cancel his flight to Mull Queens. He was going to come with me to Mull Queens in November, but he's got to babysit, y'all. She's still too young to be left alone. Okay, there's a good scrap right there for that. That worked out. And that is not straight. So she is going to come with us in January, or I'm sorry, February, to the Maitland store for the sewing center. We're bringing the dogs because we're bringing the motor home. So that'll be nice. So she'll be with us there. But I'm flying to Tempe in November. So, all righty. This is one of those that's hard to tell the right side because it's white on cream. The Vegas strip, Michelle, does anyone know what a Vegas strip is? That is a pre-cut proprietary to So Yeah. They make those. I think they're 6.5. Is that right? Yeah. So, Dee Dee, it was Ann and STX that was having the trouble with the same server thing. Ann emailed me and said she was able to get in there finally and see it. All right. And then Farmhouse Dusk Blue is the darker one. Is that right? Farmhouse Check Dust Blue. Isn't that pretty? Feels like you're looking through a screen. like a screen door screen. Okay. Ugh. My poor dogs. Bless her heart. Frito is just, Dottie doesn't give her a minute's rest. Just jumps on her head when she's not looking and attacks her, grabs her by the face and gets drug around. Frito, bless her heart, she's so gentle with her. We found 3 kittens yesterday out in the backyard. So the owls are out in force. So we are keeping a very close eye on our baby girl, waiting for her to get nice and big. That's a little close on the selvage, but I think it'll be okay. All right. So there is all of the fabric for the background for block 6. Okay. I'm tired of standing, so I'm going to go over and fix that tuck on that that strip from up on the rooftop. Okay. So then I take this page. It says to put them in a bag. I don't have a Yazzie bag large enough right now for this available. I'm going to get one in Houston. I'm so excited about Market, you guys. I'm going to be meeting the girls from 2 Chicks at Market. That's for vendors only. I'll slip this in here. I think my bag is too narrow. And whatever strikes my fancy that I love, that I want to make for the new projects and new kits coming out and new whatever, they're going to go with me and make sure they buy enough for their store of what I like. So we're going to tag team the event. That'll be fun. All righty. So let me bring you guys down. Hold on. We're going for a ride. Woo. Could I share the link for the pattern holder from True Love Quilts? I will, Sandy. You betcha. Right after the video, okay? I forget what it was called. It's a 3-part video series. I will do that right after the video. You bet. Okay. Am I going the right way with this? I don't want to turn you guys wrong and run over cords and get cut off. We don't need that kind of drama in our lives this early in the morning. You found that bunny hill pattern? Okay. Yeah. So it's printable, which is probably less expensive, but you're going to have to go to a UPS store to get it printed, y'all, because the pages print on a, those pages print big. They're on like a 12 by 18, like a legal. Okay, hold on. I want to show you the pattern pages in these things. Let me get this block 6 and I'll show you. If you want to get this and you've got fabrics or you want to put it together, that's great. But so I think these are printed on legal and you'll end up having to print and tape it together and then scan it in if you wanted to get your pieces pre-cut on the scan and cut. You're going to have a lot of noise in the scan. Noise is all that extra stuff that the scanner sees, like the fold in the paper, maybe some tape, whatever. So these are printed on legal size. If you have a legal size printer, good for you. Those are hard to come by for home use. But, you know, I would go ahead and send the PDF download to a UPS store and get them to print it for you. Okay. It's worth it. Yeah. To get comfortable with your FedEx Kinkos, right? Yeah. I say UPS because we have a UPS store here in my town and I just love it. That's where I have my box and I get all my packages and all that. So very nice. I did a curbside pickup for groceries for the trip. And I've got to pick those up at 9:30. As soon as I get done here with you guys, got to hustle over there and go get them. Going to pack the motorhome. We plan on being on the road by noon. It's about a 2.5 hour drive. So it'll be fine. There we go. Get all this back in here. You can use Adobe Express to change it to SVG and use Canvas. Yeah, Margie. Yeah, there's a lot of different programs out there you can play with to work all that up. Okay. Which stitch artist is needed for the members only class? So Bobby, I recommend Stitch Artist 3, Snapplique. You need at least Stitch Artist 2 to be able to import the vector graphics from the Scan and Cut. You cannot import vector graphics in Stitch Artist 1. I figured that out the hard way because I bought 1 and then I had to buy the upgrade to 2. And then a little while later, I bought the upgrade to Stitch Artist 3. So I'll be at the Houston Quilt Festival, Carol, on Friday and Saturday. I will put out a schedule of where I will be and when for different booths. So no matter what time you're there, we can have a chance to say hi to each other and maybe get a picture. Okay. So, oh, good. Very nice. Nancy says in Virginia, they're meeting Friday for dinner with anyone that wants to eat at the end of the day. You'll post a time and spot once you're there. There you go. Yeah. I know, busy, right? Busy. And I need to get this done. This will make me crazy while I'm gone. So let's see. You always worry when I tell everybody where I'll be. When I'll be gone, say I have someone at my house to prevent burglaries. So Mary, yeah, while we were gone for 6 weeks, I did have someone staying here, a house sitter. I also have neighbors on both sides that stay home all day and all night. So I live in a rural area. I'm not in a city like a suburb. I know my neighbors. We watch out for each other. I also am loaded for bear with cameras around this place because I'm a tech nerd. And I have cameras that I watch on my phone all the time. And I talked to Keith about that, and he said, that's what insurance is for. He's right. That's the way it goes. So it's okay. Got the neighbor's son coming over. He's 13. He's going to be coming over every day while we're in El Campo. And he's got to clean out the pool skimmer and get the leaves out of the pool and then check the mail, bring it in, right? Get all the packages and all of that. We've got it under control. Yeah. So I live in a nice area. Well, I like rural. I'm not a fan of anything with an HOA. That's not my idea of a good time at all. I prefer living in the country. I've told my son, he lives in the country up in Colorado, but it's Colorado. Nothing against you folks that live in Colorado. I love y'all, but I can't deal with the cold weather. And I told him, I said, if I'm all by myself and in my 80s, don't you dare drag me up there to that godforsaken freezing state. Oh, funny. All right. So I got to fix that tuck. Let me press it. Country living is the best. Yeah. I love rural. First guild meeting tonight. Oh, good for you. Awesome, Cindy. Good for you. Yeah, the HOAs. Oh, we used to live in an HOA, and it was awful. It was awful. They have them around here, but just not where I am. So that's fine. Y'all, when the garbage truck goes by, there's still a guy hanging on the back end of it that gets off and puts my can on the hook. That's how rural I live. Love that. I can call my water company and a person answers, and 2 guys show up in just a little bit if I have a problem, which we did the other day. So yeah, rural living is nice. Okay, I've got to get this fixed so you can see how much longer that is than it's supposed to be. So I am going to reach into my Garment Skills sewing bag, and I'm going to pin this on the end, and now it knows where I want it to stop. Okay. All right. So you can see I've got gaps. So there's a quilting baggy on bottom. That's a quilting saying, baggy on bottom. Okay, so the baggy's going to go on the bottom. Normally I would do the flying geese on top so I could see where the points were. That's not important to me at this point. Now, what I'm going to do when you're trying to do a set-in sleeve on a garment with woven fabrics, you drape the big part over your hand, okay? This is how you do this. This is pretty cool. So you drape the big part over the top. So the part that fits exactly the right size is on the bottom, okay? And then you start, you want to drape it. So see, when I drape it, it takes up all the slack, okay? And it looks like it'll fit. Takes up all the slack. So what you do is you get your pins. Let me get my little needle minder here. And you take a tiny bite. Now these, I'm pinning from the underside because I'm stitching with the other side up. Tiny bite, not a big bite. See that? A tiny bite like that. Let me get that old thread out of there. And you just, every couple of inches, if you hold it, if you hold the bottom one more tightly than the top, it'll pull it in, but it'll pucker. So this is how to get it in without it puckering. Take a tiny bite on those pins. I've got more big down here. I want to make sure that this doesn't, it makes a difference with that tiny bite for some reason. I don't know the method behind the madness on that, but it helps. I think because you're not holding a whole bunch of the fabric, you're just a couple of threads. And it helps to ease it in without the puckering. This is how you do a set-in sleeve, y'all. Has anybody else done it like this? Set-in sleeves, use sewing foam. Hey, garment sewers, if you're going to be at El Campo, I'm going to bring a couple of pieces of clothing I need some advice on. I need to do an alteration. Okay. This is looking good. Yeah. So that looks pretty good. I've still got big baggies right here. I got a big baggie right there. I'm going to fold that and tiny bite that one. I don't like that. Okay. So let's stitch this and see if my theory works, shall we? Another instructional video. Okay. Y'all, I am just amazed at how often my garment sewing knowledge works with my quilting. So again, I'm going to put baggy on bottom. All right. I'm going to start up beyond where I unstitched to. And put all my pins back where they go. Let's see how we do. It may or may not work. There's our hour. So I will be coming to you tomorrow live from El Campo, Texas. We will do the Stitchuation room. I was going to take my bag with me that I started at Stitched in Shirts last week with Claudia and try to get that working. But I was going to take this machine, but I don't know. Claudia's not coming now. I was hoping I could pick her brain, but she can't make it because they got notified that the people who are going to remodel their screened-in porch, we're going to get to them next this week. And so she couldn't make it. So let's see. Okay. I can get this with steam, but it worked. Yep. I don't have a tuck. I have a pressing thing I need to do with steam, but it'll work. So it all got pulled in nice and pretty. See that? It all got pulled in nice and pretty. How do I know I hit the points? I cross my fingers, hold my tongue just right, and stand on one foot. Plus, I had 1/4-inch seam allowances. So, any more autumn love? Yeah, Newligan, I'm going to keep working on that. But we are going to be on the road, right? So that's on hold for another week for me. But I've given you all the skills you need to be able to get those blocks going and rocking and rolling. So keep on with them. Anything that you've already done, you can do again. So, all right, you guys, this has been fun. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, join my membership for detailed tips, tutorials, and videos. All right. And we will talk to you soon. I love you guys. Go sew something. Bye.